Okay, elevator pitch. We have 14 floors going up to
Sunbit, baby.
Sunbit, first investor in the company about 3 years ago. Company reinventing point-of-sale financing. Basically, point-of-sale financing, 89% of all transactions are still done in physical retail place.
Yep.
About 50% of Americans don't have $1,000 to their name. We help them through Sunbit's product, basically finance at the point of sale and break it down to up to 12 payments. Was it a good elevator pitch? We did okay?
Not bad. We did it.
Pretty good.
Solid.
So we're meeting Arad, co-founder of the company, the CEO.
Yep.
Tal Riesenfeld, who's the Chief Revenue Officer.
Okay.
Ornit Duik, who's the Chief Technology Officer, also a co-founder. There are 4 co-founders in the company. The 4th one is in Israel with the development team.
Who are you? What's your name?
Hey, I'm Arad, the founder and CEO of Sunbit.
Okay.
And, excited to be here.
What's your 30-second background? What'd you study? Where do you come from? Talk to me.
Came from Israel, spent a few years in the military over there. Came here to the US 12 years ago, went to Duke. And then got into the financial industry, was in the finance company, and then decided that there must be a better way to finance everybody, and started Sunbit.
Let me just break this down. The way you guys just taught me something I didn't know is that, we maybe, I would say almost all of the people watching this right now use credit cards. I have 6 credit cards in my wallet, and that's how we live today, basically. But the reality is, those credit card companies only cater to what percentage of the population?
50-60%.
50. So that means there's 40 to 50% of the population that don't have access to credit cards because of their financial situation. They're declined, basically. Yep. Which means what? That means that if their car breaks down, they're stuck, basically, literally. They just have nothing to do. Now, that means everyone loses. That person loses. The garage loses. The economy, everybody loses. You're literally at 40-50% of just dead. Leaving money on the table. And you guys are using very advanced machine learning algorithms to enable people at point of sale to basically pay in payments, and the approval process is, outrageously quick.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. How does this work? Give me the.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
So first of all, I think what we do, we are able to get all customers, those who do have cards and basically pay a lot of interest on the cards, and those who don't have cards, as you mentioned, that don't have any access, to split the purchase into payments within seconds.
Right.
The entire process is not like pages or application. We don't ask any question. We just scan the driver license, click one button, and then we get to approve everybody and allow each customer to split the purchase into payments. It's important to say that each customer get the best offer they can get. So if you have a credit card, you have interest on your credit card, you will get from us an offer which is better than your credit card. Not to mention, as there are 40% who do not have a credit card and will get an offer from us versus going to pay the loan and horrible predatory lenders, and only what they need is just to drive the car and go home back to their life.
Right. So how does this work?
So the key here is from one end to be super simple for the consumer, because we work most of the time with the brick and mortar. By the way, today, still there is a lot of online stuff, but still 9 out of $10 spent in the brick and mortar. People go to the dentist, people go to the doctor, people buy jewelry, people fix the cars, only the brick and mortar. And when you think about the brick and mortar...
Sorry for 1 second, I have to interrupt you for half a second. I'm sorry, we're Israeli, we're allowed to do that.
Yeah,
right?
we're
totally okay.
Oh, that's okay, of course.
I'm just gonna say, I just want to repeat that statistic, okay? We all know about e-commerce, we know about mobile shopping, mobile payments. 9 out of $10 spent is still in physical stores, brick and mortar. That's mind-blowing to me. I was not aware of that statistic. That's incredible. Okay, so 9 out of 10. So at the end of the day, again, let's take the dentist. I'm at the dentist right now. I come and I want to pay for my dentist, and I'm declined because I'm not in a good financial situation. What do you do for me?
You don't even decline. When you go to the dentist, before you got your bill from the doctor, said it's going to cost you $2,000. Why not you split it into payments, right? We just ask you for the driver license, the associate in the store, the cashier, whatever. Right. Just ask you for your driver license. With the tablet that we give you, scan the driver license, and then within a click of a button, you can split your purchase into 3, 6, or 12 payments, or maybe even more.
It literally takes, 20 seconds.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And talk to me a little bit. Obviously, you're not going to tell me your secret sauce, but give me a little bit of your secret. How does this work? Because I'll tell you. Let me just clarify my question. The reason that 40 to 50% of the population is declined by the credit card companies is because they don't want to take that risk of those people who, they're afraid that they won't be able to pay their, And so you're saying we're approving 9 out of 10 people. That means you're taking massive risk. Yeah. So how do you reduce that risk?
So I think it's important. By the way, we gave over 200,000 loans, and all of them came back in really, really strong performance.
So you're doing something right.
We do the win-win. It's not like it's not theory. It's not only on paper. It's actually been working for the last 4 years. And when you think about it, you mentioned the credit card, right? The credit card. When you apply for a credit card, you apply for something that will be up for the next 3-4 years, right? That's your expiration date.
Right.
And it's really general. It's like one application fits to all. What we do, we know specifically where you are,
right.
whether you are in the dentist, in the mall buying jewelry, fixing a car, maybe fixing a car in the dealership, or fixing a car in the garage right. around the corner,
yep.
and we all apply into this information, and we will not give you 5 years on. We'll give you 3, 6, or 12 payments most of the time, which reduce the risk as well. So we put it all together, and that's a lot of things even started before you even apply, right? Because we know you went to the dentist,
right.
You know it's a good dentist, give you a loan.
Got it. So it's contextual.
Contextual.
I love it.
Personalized to the person, to the location, and the key here is it's so simple for the customer, but super sophisticated at the, at the back end.
You just basically summarized the definition of good technology, right? Something that works seamlessly, but in reality, behind the scenes, the back end is super sophisticated, and that is what enables the technology to be simple.
Correct.
That's everything.
And let me tell you something else. Technology is great, and we have 200,000 stores, more than 200,000 customers, and growing rapidly. But it's not enough. At the end of the day, as I mentioned, 9 out of $10 spent is in the brick and mortar, right. And there are people around. So what we built over the last few years is also a retail business. They talk to the partners, help our partners to grow, mm-hmm. and by you help your partner to grow and give the customer a better option to pay, it's a really win-win for the partner
Beautiful.
And for the customer.
Incredible. Tell me a little bit about the company. How many people work here?
So we've been for about 4 years. We have their research and development based out of Israel. The headquarters here in Los Angeles, which about like 30-40 people, and all the rest actually in around the states. We have about 42 states that we already operate,
wow.
And we have people across the states.
How many people altogether in the company?
120 people.
120 people. All right, and let's talk about your investors, because again, you have some incredible investors. How much did the company raise?
The company raised over $54 million in equity.
Okay, and by the way, just in terms of traction, you said you have how many stores using your technology today?
Over 2,500.
2,500 and growing.
And growing rapidly, yes.
All right, talk to me about your investors a little bit. Who's the biggest investor in the company?
So we have investor, and we're lucky to have great investors. I think that we started here in Los Angeles, and Doviv with Group 11 was the biggest investor here in Los Angeles. We have another group of investors strong from Chicago, and lately about 8 months ago, we got Orange Zev from Zev Ventures to be the biggest investor. So we have a great group of investors.
Great is an understatement.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
It doesn't get much better than that. Listen, it's unbelievable stuff. So, from my perspective, the sky's the limit for this company. I mean, you can.
Exactly. It's all about us.
There's just no end to what you can do. Listen, dude, it's amazing, unbelievable stuff. Maybe I'll go visit your Binyamin office.
Yeah, sure.
But if there's anything I can do to help you, listen. Any friend of Dovi's is a friend of mine. But beyond that, I think it's super duper cool. And let me know I can help with anything.
Cool. Let me say something.
Please do.
So I think you asked about investor. I would say specifically about Dovi in Group 11. I would say to call him an investor is kind of a little bit understatement, because Dovi before invest and during investment, investor go invest and talk to you once a month or something like this. Dovi actually went to the training, sold, did activation. Seriously, like actually was a customer. Also was a customer.
Wow.
Actually bought. So we see him as a partner. He can actually take probably almost every position in the company and replace it. So
I actually love that.
Happy to be here, and this is like down to earth.
It's interesting because when I think about Dovi and when I speak to his team, and I understand that they're value first, money second, but it's amazing to hear it from you, and it's not just words. You're telling me he actually took the training. He knows, like, it's incredible.
You can put him in the call center.
All other investors, take note. Amazing to meet you. Thank you so much for your time. This is incredible. Listen, dude, at the risk of being super duper awkward, I just want to say one thing. Dovi, I'm noticing a pattern. All of your CEO... How'd you know I was going to say that? All of your founders have good hair.
Oh, yeah.
What is going on? How'd you know I was going to say that? By the way, it's funny, it's like our brain... What is that? I feel like every single person I met, what's this, from Next? Yeah. Guy, what's the deal? You guys look like you're using like a hair commercial. Sorry. It's super weird. Okay. Just look at Dovi. Look at Dovi. I'm shocked that you got that, but that's impressive. All right. Point of sale, transaction. I'm like, come on, that can't be sexy. Then they showed it to me.
Yeah.
Holy hell. 20 seconds, approved. That was a real thing you showed me.
Real thing.
That's wild.